All right, folks, we got a game on our hands. Here we go.
Ten seconds to pick. 5 seconds remain.
Bat Rider!
Dire team pick. Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry! Reserve time. Dire team are now picking.
How many swords have been dropped on the ground?
Not enough, apparently. Hey, guys, welcome back. We're live here from the Dota Cinema stream. Not enough Suns fan and Cinderin, I guess. We're kind of interlopers. We've taken over.
Yes.
We've hijacked the stream.
We, or I guess more me, was the original DC. That's all I'm saying. And then these other DC guys came
they're
along.
frauds. Dota Cinema are a bunch of hacks.
Only 10 seconds.
Literal hacks. I can't drink this on camera.
You can drink whatever you want on camera,
5
buddy.
seconds remain.
But, yeah, guys, we've got a game on our hands. It's EHOME versus Navi. This is a big match, especially for a desperate, wounded animal of a Navi. They're 1-3 right now. They got their first win. They need a lot more. As for EHOME, they're 3-1, but not the most convincing 3-1. 2 games that it looked like they were going to lose, and just somehow they keep on finding a way. They seem to be somewhat of a miracle team, I would say.
Not bad. At least you're winning, right, compared to Navi. I think
That's true.
Even though Navi is not doing really well, I think these two teams are actually quite similarly skilled. Or would you not say that?
Yeah, in terms of skill, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think
I guess Navi never reaches their skill. Or rarely does.
It's partially draft. I think it's partially decision making. I just think Navi are the less consistent of the two teams.
Yes.
10 seconds
I think to
pick.
me, Navi's two weak link are the actual supports. I mean, Go Black, you know,
5
we all
seconds. Hurry,
speak about his
hurry.
like strategical mind, but it feels like as we move like TI4, TI5, maybe TI6, just being smart is not going to cut it. You can't just be Xiaowei, you know. You also got to execute. That's how I feel.
Dire's banned.
So it looks like you're gonna have to put that set on because the mic's not in the right spot,
Okay.
so they can't hear you really.
Yeah, they did hear my DC flames.
Yeah, he was flaming Dota Cinema guys. He was saying Dota commentaries came first.
It
The
literally
OG,
did.
the OG DC.
Yes.
Only 10
But
seconds.
we, of course, we love the Dota Cinema guys dearly as well, or we would have already evicted them
5
from the house.
seconds
But
remain.
yeah, Lumi draft underway. Bat Rider first pick for EHOME. It's Ohio's go-to hero.
Reserve
They've been winning a
time.
lot of games with this one.
Won the last one because of his great initiation.
They almost lost it because of him, and then
won because of him.
He was the villain and the hero in the same game. That's quite a story, quite a feat. As for Navi going Jug Rubik, so they don't go for the axe, which is something that Navi doesn't prefer that much. They love their troll. Also, interestingly, they do ignore the Dendi mag, and picking up Rubik first pick, I think I'd be very surprised if they don't get the Dendi mag here.
Well, they do have first pick out of
Dire team
the
are now picking.
ban phase. Do you need to pick it up so early? Is the question. Can you pick up something that's a little bit more important for you?
Oh, maybe not third pick, but I'm just saying, given that they go Rubik early, obviously also good against Bat, and just how well Dendi's been playing Meg.
Sure.
Teams have been banning at first phase against them.
Oh,
I
they're
think
back.
against Mag in general, you actually have two heroes that are very good against it. Like in Wolves, just like following the Mag around. Just having the vision is huge,
5
right?
seconds.
And same thing with the
Hurry,
Bat Rider.
hurry.
The fact that you have flying vision to see where the Mag is and catch him out and maybe even get a quick kill is
Reserve time.
pretty key. So I agree that Mag is a great Dendi hero, but maybe this is not the game where you try to force it against.
True. Bat Rider can really control him nicely. Well, for now, Navi, they have the Jug, and it's been normally Havost, I guess. I think I have seen Funnick play it once or twice, but
Yeah, this feels like a Havol's hero. It's a hero that allows him to dive very deeply and honestly probably make it out thanks to spin and the fact that he has high movement speed. But every time I see a Lycan on the enemy team, I just think that I have to shore up my lanes. Make sure that no matter what my core and support pairs are, I should be able to not just succumb to HOW damage. Because that's generally how teams like EG and Lycan, Secret, excuse me, dominate the early game with Lycan. So Earthshaker is a little bit defensive for my taste, but we'll see if they're going to be looking to use that offensively by setting up some early game fissure traps and looking to pick people up.
Yeah, they also, it's another hero that can counter-initiate a bat reasonably well. Not fantastic, but decent. And Fissure can control Lycan very well, too.
Sure.
Doesn't matter if you have BKB. You good Fissure block keeps the wolf at bay. And the Doctor away, too. EHOME, third pick. Let's see. What do they look to run here? They've been running... what have they been running lately? Lion?
Well,
okay.
Lion support's very popular. I think Venge and Lion are like the most popular supports. And there you go, Keeper of the Light. And suddenly this looks like a
Kato guy has to be sad now. He's been like, wanting to see this hero. You know, who brought it up earlier?
Bruno.
Is this a? Oh, this is the Core Shaker.
Yeah,
for
Core
Dendi
Shaker.
then.
Yeah, Dendi mid.
I was actually really hoping for the Core Rubik, but I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, people always ask why don't we see mid Rubik anymore, and the short answer to that is you could really get the same result just having him as a support. And you can free up the farm from somebody else.
It's very diminishing returns to run him as a core, it feels.
I like that term. That's a good old economic term. I'm not sure if... What did you study in college?
Philosophy.
Okay.
About as far away from economics as possible.
It's a social science.
Which is to say not real science, but yeah.
Okay, so... You know Earthshaker mid is going to give you a crap ton of spike damage. Not necessarily able to man-fight a Lycan, but let's say if Lycan is just stunned for a second or two, that could be enough time where Earthshaker just pummeled the Lycan quickly.
Yes. Earthshaker has a lot of lockdown versus him and good burst as well. Also, scary to push into Na'Vi. They have a ton of AoE, good D push, and if you ever get caught by an Echo Slam, things can go awry. So, EHOME go for the Shadow Fiend now, the classic Mushi hero. So the ZYF Lycan will be in vogue again. The Mushi Shadow Fiend, the Ohio Bat, they'll be needing that final support to put either Inflame or DDC on. Now, earlier we saw Inflame on a support Wraith King. He generally plays greedier supports. I'd liken him a bit to like an AUI 2000. Or Zai back on EG. It's a different hero pool, but same type of support.
Well, even when he played the Wraith King, he got pretty greedy, right? He was getting a Blink and then I want to say Midas. Yeah,
it was. I think he even got the Midas first.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, he was playing greedy for sure.
I mean, since we're talking about the Wraith King, is Wraith King bad here?
I always like Wraith King with any sort of aura strat, and they already have Lycan Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and honestly, like he's a support that's pretty immune to like the Juggernaut, immune to Earthshaker. Like you don't care if he dies first. In fact, you kind of want him to die first to apply that slow. So if you want to be a little bit offensive, I think Wraith King is fine. Defensively, if you want something like a Batten, why not? Maybe a Batten, like because
Batten is just not the type of hero that EHOME would run as a support. I mean, I agree with you; it could be strong, but
I just see PPD just run it so well for EG. Although I haven't seen him play that for a while.
It's just stylistically not the EHOME way. EHOME are big believers in essentially the quad core.
Ooh, Funnic Clink.
Funnic Clinks comes out now.
I mean, a Batten would be good against Clinks, right? Because the ability to remove a silence and rescue your ally, and a support that does not care being orchided. I guess Wraith King also falls under the same category.
Yeah, not a very great defensive support, though.
Yeah.
Well, there is also the Dazzle out there. I mean, if that's something EHOME wanted to do, synergizes nicely with like a Shadow Fiend Lycan, it could be a possibility.
10 seconds to pick.
They have plenty of damage. That's not their issue. They have good lockdown now. And I guess you could look at the lanes for EHOME. They're going to be running a Shadow Fiend mid versus Earthshaker, assuming Na'Vi does this Core Shaker mid. That should be an easy free farm lane. Barring any sort of crazy rotations from Na'Vi for Mushi. So then you have a Lycan safe lane with a Lion back you up. I actually think Na'Vi are pretty scary if they want to go aggressive. Rubik, Keeper of the Light, Juggernaut. not the best kill potential, but a lot of tower pushing potential.
Well, I agree with the possible of the offensive trialing, but I think EHOME right now is looking for support that to... Okay, so you're saying that offensive trialing for Na'Vi is a possibility.
Yeah, like an economic damage type of trialing.
Okay, but EHOME has to pick up a support such that if the offensive trialing doesn't come, and if it's a Clinkz off lane, for example, you can't pick Wraith King anymore, because Clinkz would just run all over a Lion and a Wraith King and the Lycan just by...
Yeah,
virtue of the flame
you probably
arrows.
need a range support here.
Exactly. So that was the point I was trying to painfully make. But it's most likely offensive trialing from Na'Vi, because you don't generally leave Clinkz in the off lane. He just does not get enough. And if you do want to throw the Clinkz in off lane, you at least have to throw the Shaker there to help him.
I guess it could be dual lanes, like Jug, Keeper.
A bad
good game for all the reasons you already pointed it out. So yeah, Dendi is on the picking up the Jug, and Inflame not really on a playmaking role here. Well, you can make not that very flashy offensive support that he's normally accustomed to playing.
How do you greedy with Abaddon? I guess you just try to transition into a carry eventually.
Get a Midas, I don't know. Well, the classic.
Step 1, get a Midas.
The classic. You know,
yeah, like
phase boots, SOY, Mask. Basher.
Yeah.
That's the... I don't think Inflame has seen the light just yet.
Yeah, good game to see what, by playing Abaddon. You could just like sit into the enemy jungle, place wards or scout. Definitely can't do that with like a Crystal Maiden per se. You can get away with doing that with Abaddon. We'll see.
And the draft now complete. EHOME just waiting for them. Now we get underway. Looks like
Certainly are favoring more.
Are you like?
Fine. I guess you're like.
Where were we?
You're not lagging?
Or was it? Okay, never mind. Everyone just go bottom. Oh, they're just toying with us now.
Perfect Row has been fine, at least downstairs when...
Yeah, it's normally fine. And occasionally you just have to reconnect, but it used to be like... I mean, you remember, like we'd reconnect like 10 times and it'd still be bad. Then you'd randomly reconnect the 11th time. Everything's fine. But we get back underway, guys. Welcome back for everyone who missed us in Dota TV. Uh-oh. It's UIF. This could be our first blood. Nice fissure. I'm not sure if it's a complete block, but it's good enough. Now Blade Fury, the offensive movement from Na'Vi with a Keeper of the Light Clinkz. Not something you really anticipate.
Yeah.
But enough to get the first blood. So we'll run through the drafts here. We've got Vanscore playing your Rubik. Dendi on the Core Shaker, rushing the bottle. Funnick going to be the Clinkz for now. Let's see which lane he goes to. Havost on the Juggernaut. And that will leave Godblack as the Keeper of the Light. Na'Vi getting aggressive here early. On the side of EHOME, you've got DDC. Your support Lion. Going bottom is ZYF on that Lycan. Mushi, mid on the Shadow Feed. Inflame the support Abaddon. And that does leave Ohio as the offlane bat.
Yeah, I personally always find it interesting to see when does the Shadow Fiend go for, you know, 2 tangles and then rush for the bottle, and when you go Wraith Band. And in this case, he's gonna go for the Wraith Band here. Honestly, against a melee hero like Earthshaker, it really doesn't matter what you build. You're gonna dominate the lane. Or you should dominate the lane, I guess.
Yeah, unless they gank the lane, there's just very little Dendi can do to keep the SF down, but they can look to make up for it elsewhere, like bottom lane, where once again they've gone in on ZYF. They have the Illuminate being channeled. It will connect to close to full duration, and well, one more auto attack needed. The Stout Shield Ring of Protection combo, it's enough to barely keep him alive.
Yep. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane here, a lot of last hits being traded. It's actually a really nice synergy, if you want to call it that. Like, you give How to Shadow Fiend early so he can last it better, because he definitely needs a damage bonus.
Yeah, that's where you get the Wraith Band, and then you have the How, and you're not missing last hits. You hardly even need to use the Raise to secure CS.
Yeah.
Although, as soon as I say that, I jinx Mushi, and he misses an easy last hit.
Commentator's curse.
Indeed.
So top lane, they could actually play very aggressively here with the Abaddon. You just shield a Bat Rider and he starts tower diving with Firefly. Maybe this is not the time to do it, but it's definitely a possibility. And they have the dust available on Bat, so if Funnick overcommits, could definitely get picked off here.
Yeah, with the boots, Clinks becomes very fast. Even when you dust him, he still gets a ton of bonus move speed from the Skeleton Walk. Yeah, they really can't go on him, but they can force him off the lane.
Level 1 Skeleton Walk, you only get 11% boost movement speed-wise, and the dust slows you by 15%, right? So
yeah, once you get to level 2, though, it's going to help.
But here's the thing, though. Are you not going to level up your Fire Arrow just for that? I think you still...
No, I think you wait until level 4.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in this lane it's different, but generally you would. Still, as soon as Inflame walks in, Ohio's going to back off, and they do want to make sure they get these CS. So as a result, Funnick still, end of the day, getting his experience, and it does seem like Na'Vi are going to rotate off of the offensive tri-lane. They're going to swing Vangscore towards top. They want to help out the Clinks. And frankly, I don't think they need to be tri-laning bottom anyway. They've already done their job of slowing down ZYF, and as soon as he rotates the jungle, it's DDC who's going to have to be very careful alone in this bottom lane.
Yeah, and in fact, it's Yang is what I'm going to call him because he's tagged up as that, to leave the lane.
CYF is just a much more badass name. Yang is kind of underwhelming.
Okay, fair enough. I still think back to that picture that he has.
What, the stripper picture?
Yeah.
It's got like his unzipped boy band shirt.
Now that's a badass picture. I guess maybe few would disagree, but...
It's certainly unique.
Yeah. So he's leaving the lane, and that's going to give DDC some, levels on the bottom. And honestly, DDC's going to lane here much better. Just the fact that he's range.
Yeah, he might out CS a ton. He grabs one for now, but he's getting levels. So this is generally what we see out of EHOME, although I don't think it's what they had in mind for their laning stage, but they usually don't have 5 heroes in the lanes. There's almost always somebody in the woods. Normally like a 4-position, pseudo support type hero, but it's actually working out pretty well. And end of the day, even if they lose that bottom lane a bit, they have a free farm Shadowfiend mid who's just going to work against Dendi on the Earthshaker. And I don't really know what Navi's supposed to do about it. Until they gank this SF, there's no way ES can do anything in this lane.
All right, so what's the over-under on Mushi going the build that everyone's going, which is the Yule Scepter?
I don't think so. He likes the mech build.
Yeah, he does too, but at the same time... Oh, actually, a big fight happening on the top lane here. Bat Rider tower diving drops very, very low. He's going to live for now, although Clinks is kind of right on opposite. There you go.
Where are you going, Ohio?
Yeah. Where's the Abaddon? He just abandoned him. I guess he didn't really have the mana to help.
Yeah, he shielded him, but then if he starts diving this way, maybe they both end up dying there.
Yeah.
So he just backs off.
So the mech Shadowfiend is really good. At the same time, it costs a ton of mana. And Shadowfiend's already a fairly mana-intensive hero because he's raising all the time.
Yeah, if you go that build, generally you'll see the bottle treads, either Magic Wand or maybe an Aquila picked up.
Yeah.
And with that, it's normally enough, but you do have to occasionally grab runes and go back to heal.
Yep. We'll see.
It's more of like a team fight oriented build, whereas the Yules is more about like making those individual plays. And bottom lane, DDC, they got the lift on him. Now the spin to win.
Oh yeah.
And Havost is your winner.
Yeah, he didn't even have face boot, just a simple lift, enough to set up the kill. But just back to the mech build on Shadowfiend real fast. You generally combine it, like you said, with the Ring of Aquila, with the Helmet Dominator, a fairly early rushed Butterfly, and all of that gives you a ton of armor, right? Against Klings, Juggernaut, the Earthshaker, that's all you want. As much armor as you want to pick up.
Well, this is definitely a departure for Mushi. He's going to grab a Wraith Band, and it's not something he normally goes for.
Yeah, it seems like the Bracer and the Wraith Band is popular with a lot of Shadowfiend players nowadays. Just going to get a ton of stats.
Yeah, you get the Wraith Band just to help your early CS, as you were talking about, just in the very early laning stage, and make sure you get the souls coming. And then you get the Bracer just to give yourself a little more survivability around the time when teams are likely to start putting pressure on you, and you may have to join fights. But the end result does look a little funky.
Yeah. You just think, oh, is he gonna get
where's the no tally, dude?
When I first started playing Dota long ago, and they added items like drums, as well as now there was a Dagon originally, right? That used a no talisman, and then they added the drums and the Aquila. I was like, all right, the trifecta is completed. But where's the combination of all three?
That's one of Dota's great mysteries. Ohio. He's found himself in an awkward position here once again. He's actually going to have to TP out, and he goes all the way back to the base. They were trying to set up on Dendi mid. DDC wrapped around, and he just ends up dropping Observer Ward. Dendi tucks himself in the tree line. He had the Rupik backing him up. A lot of attention on this mid lane. EHOME are getting something out of the woods for ZYF, and they are farming their Shadow Fiend. But so too, Navi doing reasonably well. The off-lane Jug getting quite a bit. In fact, he's their lead CSer, Havost, and he's got level 6 now. Bit low on mana, but if he gets it... Oh, he might get a kill here anyway. Flame.
Oh, he's got shield. He's
in
fine.
danger.
Well,
there's Blade Fury, though. He can just run him down.
He's actually running fairly quickly here. He could also deny himself, but he doesn't get something to cast on. Oh, actually getting blocked in by the Wolves. What a micro by Yang and ZYF. And he's still getting it. The Fates was trying to go throughout, but...
He should have just Blade Furied sooner. Like, yeah, he's going to shield, but he's leveling up Blade Fury. Level 2 Blade Fury is enough to break the shield and kill him there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Havost thought he could get the kill without having to use it and was trying to conserve his mana.
And then he got greedy afterwards by diving.
Yeah, well, not worth. Jungle Lycan suddenly has them. I always want to say Mask of Death. Has the Morbid Mask. Has the Morbid Mask money. Closing in on the completed Vlads.
Yeah. I was going to say that it's very important that Juggernaut is doing well, because if you look at the rest of the team, then he needs Blink Dagger to start doing anything, and then the Klings needs Orchid to start doing anything. So the rest of the team just doesn't do much. So you want the Juggernaut to be your early game tempo control, and he was looking to do really well until he died. And speaking of which, Funnick just goes to Midas, so...
Oh, Dendi has stick charges here, but I don't know if they're really going to accomplish much. They get off the lasso, bringing Mushi straight down as the toss from Bankscore. Dendi ends up dropping. Now they're going to look for more as Bankscore forced to scurry away with the Haste Rune. He does have a Zap cooling down. Maybe he tries to come back in and catch the fleeing DDC. They drop a Sentry. I think DDC, just dewarding.
Yep.
Meanwhile, top lane, Funnick setting up an Inflame. This might be another death for the Abad, and he has the shield, but broken instantly. Funnick just hitting like a truck with that death pack damage. 122, not even counting the max searing arrows.
It does so much damage. Yeah,
and he gets Midas now, so I guess the question will become later on this. Oh, never mind that. We have more action on him. ZYF, he's going to try to slap down Vainscore, then he goes back to Avost, but Avost able to Omni Slash and wins the duel. A little bit of hesitation there as to who he wanted to focus, and ends up paying the price.
Oh, it's a blink straight up first here by Mushi.
All right.
This is taking it old school. I like it.
Something very fresh. This is actually a build Dendi likes.
Yeah.
Dendi used to love his blink first Shadow Fiend.
I mean, normally when you get the blink first, the benefit is you could avoid a ton of ganks as well. Like, for example, Venge is a classical stun that you could dodge with just a blink dagger, but this game, you can't dodge anything. So he's purely using it as an offensive tool.
It is a good split push item. Lets you play a bit more aggressively and potentially live to tell the tale, but split push is also dangerous this game against a Clink, so yeah. I don't know how much we'll see out of that from Dendi. It's actually a great Yule's game if you wanted to go that route, because of that Orchid. Like, you get the blink first, maybe he does go back for the Yules anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's good against Juggernaut as well.
Yeah, really good against Omni Slash.
Man, Yules is just a good item.
It's a little too... It feels like it's the new Force Staff, actually. As you're having some perfect world issues, I see.
Yeah. So I'm going to just look over to your screen. It's fine.
You can reconnect if you want.
Nah, it's fine. Too lazy to
We'll share. We Davids. We know how to share. Nice. We're getting chased a bit here. Inflame can throw a shield out and maybe just run him down with the Wolves. He's going to nuke him. Does he manage to get the kill?
I'm surprised he just didn't throw the shield on the Wolf.
I know, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah. But the cast range is really...
Yeah.
Really terrible.
Yeah. I guess it's just not going to be enough damage there. He throws it out, but they can't get the kill. So, for looking at EHOME right now, game plan, it's all about the Ohio Blink. They... Once again, are running a draft where their other cores are basically just farmers. And DDC is nowhere near a blink of his own. So then the question becomes, what can Ohio do once he gets the blink? Will he find the openings?
Yeah. And honestly, going back that game where he was dropping a lot of the initiation during the mid-game, he found them early. Like, when it came to ganks, Ohio was always there with the lasso. So I would expect him to be the same. I just find EHOME having very weird farming patterns. You know how you said that one person always goes in the jungle and the support goes in the lane? efficiency-wise, that's very good because everybody gets farmed. But in terms of just hitting your item timing, just everybody don't have any items.
EHOME feels a little chaotic as a team.
Yeah.
Like, CYF just randomly shape-shifting now. And he's
just a farm, exactly. Just, I don't know.
They're a very random team, which I think can be very difficult for opponents to play against. You don't know how they're going to lane. You don't know how they're going to draft. Even if they pick the same thing, they might run it differently. But at the same time, it does mean they're oftentimes a bit less crisp and polished.
Yeah. I think more crisp, or less crisp is generally. Oh, blink forward here by...
Is Mushi going to style on Vincere?
Well, not when the blinding light is available.
Suddenly 3 top.
Yep.
But they can't go on the Shadow Fiend. Meanwhile, Ohio, he blinks in. He's got the
smoke
lasso
is not
online.
Review, though. I think he's dead. Blink is already used. Can he turn around for Fissure? Echo's going to come down here. He could not have turned around the Fissure because Sticky Napalm made his turn rate so poorly. But here comes the Omni Slash, not really doing too much. In fact, the Wolf taking a little bit. Earthshaker drops here with the haste on Havoso. He's just still right-clicking away, but Inflame's got the ultimate. He's turning it on. He's trying to deal as much damage to himself as possible. Funnick is going to get a pick-off kill against the Lion. Looks like they're going to lose both support as a result for a Dendi kill. Not too sure whether that's worth it.
Man, Vops is just like, I got you, man. Super Saiyan mode. Just the Omni Slash. He's straight into 3 heroes. That did basically nothing, but Dendi echoing at first, it looked like he was just going to echo and die anyway, but it does buy him like that half second just for his team to get a bit closer. And
sure.
Ultimately, 2 for 1. Not too bad, but it is a core shaker for 2 supports. And they probably, well, they don't quite lose the tower bottom. They're very close to losing it.
I think once Shaker gets the blink, though, you don't. His farm is not too important. Obviously, you still want your treads and heart, BKB, whatever item you're going for, but blink is kind of the most important item.
BKB Mushi is the choice.
This is like the original Shadow Fiend. Blink BKB every game.
Yeah, but that was BKB was a lot stronger back then.
Sure, yeah.
It's been nerfed quite a bit. And
to be fair, Requiem now got buffed compared to the old Requiem.
Right. But why this over the Yule's build? Omni Slash is still going to go through it. In fact, the Yule's is more helpful against Omni Slash.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
using up your charges now really hurts you later on.
If you're using the Yule's offensively, then you're not using it defensively, right? Which is the reason that we think it's good.
I think it's useful in both cases. You can't use it for both at once, but BKB doesn't allow you to do both.
They're initiating right now. Havos is fine because he's played for right back out. The Fissure is absolutely excellent. Impale does hit though. They're going to lose a Rubik as a result. I think they could siege here too, right? Wolf, Shapeshift. No, they'll back off. It's down soon.
But they're just doing a nice job of starting to pick Na'Vi apart now. Pressuring this tower mid. Mushi going to get the last hit. That's the tower top and mid. He's claimed both of them by himself. And Funnick?
That's what the blink really allows
goes
you.
for the early Deso. He's not going Orchid, and this is terrifying on
This
Clay's.
build does so much damage.
These tier 1s are all dead. Like, it doesn't matter how badly this game goes for Na'Vi. Funnick will take all 3 tier 1s probably within the next 4 to 5 minutes.
I mean...
And that's not even counting the hero killing potential.
That's definitely true, but I was thinking more of the hero killing potential. How much is he hitting? So he's got 100. Okay, he's got 200 now. The flaming arrow does how much?
It's another 50 or 60.
All right, now with minus armor on top of that, he's hitting, I want to say 250 to 300 damage per pop. Is that a safe estimate?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate, and it's not just him who benefits from it. They also have a core shaker and a
gold damage team, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was at 340 something? I don't know, that's Juggernaut's crits.
I think it's a really cool pickup this game. And the other thing is Deso is a much better scaling item than an Orchid. You get an Orchid, you mentioned it's not good against Abaddon at all once he hits level 6, which he now is. I mean, I guess it's okay. Maybe you silence him, try to kill another hero, but generally you also need the bonus damage from Orchid to get kills as Clinks.
Yeah.
So this, it also isn't countered by a BKB. It's not countered by a potential Yule Scepter pickup, which isn't forthcoming. It's just a better scaling item than the Orchid.
And now, to be fair, the Orchid gives you some decent attack speed, which arguably you don't need because you have, strafe.
You don't need the mana, though, because you can keep her the light. I think that's the big reason why he can get away with this.
I think the biggest thing about Deso, which I prefer, is the immediate impact you have. Like, for example, they just took a Roche, and you were mentioning the T1s. All of these are just, to me, a little bit more impactful than getting 1 or 2 silence skills. Dendi is going to get initiated on. This is what I mean about Ohio. He definitely has it down on the ganks. It's just that sometimes in the teamfight initiation, he finds it difficult to connect with the right target.
Well, meanwhile, Host is posting up. Wants to get aggressive here. Mushi has the Blink, has the Requiem online, but can't very well just go on a Juggernaut. He's going to need some backup, and for now, just content to raise from the trees. Actually, he will Requiem just to zone Host back, who slightly panics. Blade Furious sticks around the healing ward. And do they really try to commit to this tower? Because
I mean, ooh, Funnick just gets a pick off on the line. He just ran in on the back line. This time had double damage to Halbao, so he's hitting close to 400, 500, 600 damage. Right?
Blink, I literally blinked and I missed it. 2 shots, I think, and he's dead there.
By the way, I really like how aggressive Havols was playing. In fact, he turned Mask of Madness on and was just hitting tower, because he recognized the only way that he dies is under a Blink Lasso, which has already been used. Lion doesn't have Blink yet, so he could be as aggressive as he wants to be. And that's a downside of playing a Baton support, right? You just have a defensive support that can't really punish any type of aggressive play. And they're just sieging tier 2 now.
Look how much damage the tower takes. 600 HP gone, and honestly, we haven't seen Earthshaker do anything this game.
No. Well,
they're basically 4v5y right now.
He has some decent fissures, but that's a support shaker that could do that for you.
Right.
As a core shaker, he hasn't done much.
And they're going to continue working away on this tier 2 tower. From the high ground, Mushi comes. He does have BKB, but again, this BKB does not make it safe for you to just jump the hell in.
No, definitely not.
You got to be very deliberate in your fights. It's really all about the bat, it feels. And, well, keeping eyes on Ohio. He's swinging around from the south.
Ooh, they're charging up on the high ground. I'm not sure about this.
They do have eyes on Dendi. Wolves scouting Navi. They might get the jump here. Havos, that would be a big kill, but still has the Aegis.
He goes back for the creep, but they're actually going to go for the Rubik because they really can't go for Hovos. Rubik will also lift to cancel, but they can actually keep in.
They can't fight Funnick. Do you see how much damage this guy is doing?
God, well, actually, though, Inflame is keeping everybody away.
Oh, no.
Mushi coming in, but he's actually losing the man fight. Funnick's on the run, and he will be fine. Fissure, what a block, and he blinks back out. They cut their losses, which is just the Rubik. I mean, trading Rubik for a Lycan, you'll take that trade.
Funnick is hitting really hard. I thought Mushi was going to Requiem there, but just ended up backing off. And
did he not have it?
It might have just cooled down.
Yeah.
I know it cooled down at some point, but I don't know if it was like right when the fight started or what. It could have been gigantic, though. I thought he was going to just rack up 3 kills there.
Also, I think during that fight, Funnick's death pack ended. And when you lose a death pack buff, you actually just gain health.
Well, it looks like you're gaining health.
It looks like you're gaining health, but that's like mental. Like, why did he gain health? Did he get mech'd or something? But no, it just death pack ended.
And now he almost has BKB. And
BKB's much better for Navi's team than EHOME's team.
Yes, I would agree with that. There is still physical damage, but the way that this Clinks will most likely die is either overextending or more likely getting either lassoed into like a finger or a Hex Impale, something like that.
It's a really bad sign for EHOME that they saw the Juggernaut there, but they couldn't lasso the Juggernaut. Oh no, Golden Roche. No, that's not Golden. Golden Doomlin. Yeah. Like, Havos was Mask of Madness, and they can't go on him. They're going to go on Dendi. Well, he's going to get picked up here. DDC should connect on the chain stuff. Do they have finger? Yes, they do. Well,
it's taking a while to kill Dendi, but they will bring him down. I mean, while they start pushing top, EHOME's still finding openings here on the map and making good trades overall. Sure, they're not quite having the raw punching power of Navi in terms of single target focus, but they still push damn hard.
Yeah.
ZYF, Necro 1 now online, I believe probably has the makings of the rest. Is there anything in the well? No, I guess it's a slightly delayed Necro 3. He did go woods pretty early.
Yeah, I just want to say this game really exemplifies why Batrider is one of the best heroes in the game. Like, any other offlaner, I don't think you could have as much impact as Ohio's having. Every fight, he just finds one, isolate, kills. Now, granted, you have supports like a Lion that could follow up and give you the burst damage, but if you have, for example, a Timbersaw, you can't really win the team fight as hard as he is doing right now.
Yeah, and especially with their type of draft, where still they don't have any other heroes that can start fights.
Lion's getting close to his plane.
Funnick is dangerously close to running into ZYF here. He's not going that direction, though. It looks like ZYF will dodge the bullet.
I think we're on a very thin line in terms of when EHOME could just start man-fighting this Navi team. Because if you look over the Lycan, once he gets Necro 3, right? I think Clinks will start having trouble sticking too long in these fights.
And there's the gem on the bat already.
Right.
So Funnick has to be very careful about how he approaches the fight. The last fight, Earthshaker completely whiffed his echo. I don't know if it was the blink bug or just echoed and then tried to blink, but maybe had it canceled. Either way, it's...
Is that really a thing, the blink bug? Because Cinderin was telling...
I'm pretty sure it is a thing. I've had it happen a few times where I didn't see anything cancel. Happens once, you just figure like, oh, I probably just, you know, I pressed the wrong hotkey, but there have been a lot of complaints about it.
From pros? I'm pretty sure...
I believe a decent number have.
I don't think anybody has ever tweeted about... At least
I'm not 100% sure if it's a bug or just a psychological phenomenon, but at this point enough people have talked about it.
I don't know, but if
maybe
everybody's like...
It's a fake bug.
Yeah, they're just... Everybody's talking about a myth, and the myth is becoming more of a...
It would be funny if there was actually no bug at all.
It's like a placebo effect. Everybody's just...
It's a psychological experiment. We keep on talking about the blink bug just to see if people are going to believe that it's a thing.
I bet Cinderin just started it for his sick jokes.
Well, I mean, he's not the only one, to be fair. But yeah, he's sick and twisted. That's why we try to keep him away from us as much as possible.
I'm very surprised that Mushi's not going for a straight butterfly. Because generally that's... I get Yasha is always good, especially against like the single target focus.
Manta is pretty damn good against Jug. I feel like that's the main reason you would go Manta here is just to help tank the Omni Slash a bit.
Also Clings, right? If he's just right-clicking on you and suddenly you just use it and disjoint the aggro, if that's the right term.
Yeah.
It just buys you a little bit more time.
Especially if he goes Orchid, but I mean, even in this case, I think it's still pretty valuable. Also, I believe it removes the blinding light as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's got the BKB for that.
That's true. It lets you kind of save your BKB for when you really want it. Although, again, I don't think it's a great BKB game in general. I'm a little surprised Mushi went for that build.
I guess he's just respecting the fissure a lot, because that's essentially the spell he wants to block. Well, that said,
it's hard to BKB block a fissure. That's
no, like you just use it before you even start fighting. You don't want to just walk in and then die to a fissure. And honestly, if you just blink BKBs into the middle of the fight and drops Requiem, there's really no way to stop it, right? Apart from Omni Slash, I guess.
Yeah, they have that first mini stun on Omni Slash.
And does the Echo Slam? I don't think the stun goes through BKB.
No. I think the damage on the initial echo goes through,
and
but
there's
not
no stun.
Because the stun is only from Aftershock.
Right, and that doesn't go through.
Yeah. I thought they might have changed something with that damage on the initial echo, but either way, thanks score, getting lassoed. Ohio again finding the picks. On the back of that, EHOME are going to take a tower mid, but Na'Vi, are they cruising for a bruising? No, they're backing off.
You know, as much damage as Na'Vi team doing, it's just the fact that Ohio finds ganks.
It's funny because I was giving him a hard time in the previous match, and he was not playing very well, but the Batrider pick is just his hero. This is just like classic, standard Ohio type of play, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know that he doesn't really bring the versatility of, say, Ice in the off lane, but at least if he does, they haven't been picky. It's funny because, you know, Lumi, the way I remember Ohio, the first game I ever cast where I was impressed by him was back when he was on MUFC, the old MUFC. It was in the... I think you and I were actually testing it. Uh-oh. Dendi blinks it. He goes for the Echo Slam, but hello, Dendi. There's suddenly a billion heroes here. Oh, my goodness. It was in the... What was that tournament? The one that Dota Talk organized, that little invitation with LGD and then 2 Southeast Asian teams. I think it was MUFC and Zenith or something. He played Tinker. And this was like way before Tinker was popular at all.
It was a niche pick.
Yeah, very niche pick. And he was a sick Tinker. But I don't know what's happened. Maybe it's just the way that his teams have chosen to draft. But I know he's played a wide variety of heroes historically. But it just seems like in the off lane, at least, it's pretty much always the same style. Very selfless initiator, sacrificial lamb types.
Well, I mean, I think just a change of focus. Like, I think what he was really good at was when he played Prophet, he would always send these treants to like deny pulls and deny like block camps.
Yeah, he was like, you compare him to Bulldog at TA3. Bulldog would He would do that at the 30-second spawn, the 1-minute spawn, and then he would go get his Midas.
Bulldog would just do it for the first spawn and go into the jungle, right?
Well, he did the first 2 because that's the only time in the game where that's 2 spawns in 30 seconds.
Right, okay.
And then after that, it's 1 minute. So, but you remember EGM and Ake would always like be stacking the camps so that he could just go and finish them off for the fast Midas. Ohio would just stay in the off lane, just constantly blocking camps for like 5-6 minutes.
Wait, did you see Funny just attack outside the Roshan pit against the Roche?
Maybe. I don't know. I was actually turning my
But our point is that Ohio plays a very kind of
sacrificial
offlaner, which maybe that's not what this patch needs, you know?
It is working this game.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it puts a lot of pressure on him, just the way that EHOME have been drafting lately, where ZYF tends to play a lot of pretty farm-intensive safe laners. We don't see him too often on more fighting-centric carries. And, I mean, Mushi, you just never know. He's played the Magnus.
Depends on the hero.
Yeah, it just depends on what he's feeling like.
Oh, immediate Hex here. Funnick wanted to snipe, but he didn't pop the BKB. He has one. I'm not sure why. Oh, it's on cooldown.
He goes in before it's even ready, and as a result, ends up dying. Havos now charging in. It's his turn to engage, but the shield comes through. The heal comes out. Then he drops down to the low ground. The Omni Slash bouncing over the cliff, and well, he ends up surviving now. Going in a bit deeper, they get the fissure off. Another kill by Havos. Gem hits the deck, and Papa Mushi arrives looking to do battle. Oh no! And bashed again, and again. He'll explode, but Havos may fall anyway. ZYF kills him once. I think that's it.
The more important thing is that the gem was kind of passed around like a hot potato, and finally Navi and
ZYF grabbed it on the drive.
Ran away. Nice. That's a huge play by
what a player.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the gem drop a bit earlier, but then I'm like, oh man, fight.
Yeah, because Shadow Fiend blinked in to pick it up, and then he BKB ulted. But that bash, the RNG from Havos is unreal.
If he doesn't get that bash, Requiem kills the Aegis. The other 2 have to back, and Lycan and Shadow Fiend are just sitting there when Havos respawns, waiting to kill him.
We haven't really talked about how devastating it is for Navi if that Requiem does go off. 50% less damage for this.
It's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's huge.
And, oh, by the way, he also has the Talisman of Evasion. Did he have that in
so
I think he did.
Actually, he might have just picked it up in the fountain. I'm not sure. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But if he had it and he still got bashed that many times, that is some god-awful luck.
Well, I mean, Juggernaut with the Abysso now, you could guarantee that, and that just goes for how poorly this BKB has been. I mean, you get the BKB just to guarantee you get the ult off, and he can't even do that. But how unlucky DDC was, right? He played so well. The Klings went on him, immediate Hex, he survived, and then out of nowhere, a Juggernaut Omni Slash just bounced onto him. And he was on the low ground. But you know, sometimes things like that just happen.
Navi now gonna back off and farm their own woods for them. Meantime, that's been a pretty close game, Lumi. It's only a 2K gold lead now for Navi. Experience around 7K. But in terms of like raw team fight power, barring a big Earthshaker initiation.
Have we seen a team fight though? I don't think all of these are just kind of...
They're more skirmishy.
Yeah.
That was a larger engagement, but yeah, it wasn't like all 10 heroes at once. But if Navi push, I feel like EHOME are going to try and take a bigger fight. Maybe they don't try and defend the tier 1, though. They are split pushy with Mushi.
I think when it comes to like initiation, that's where you look to the bat being the stronger hero, but...
If you go high ground against EHOME, you got to be real careful about it. But tier 2, a bit harder to defend.
Yeah, you can see that Shadow Fiend is, well, today we saw a lot of just casual Talisman of Evasion, but I would imagine Mushi wants to finish that butterfly ASAP.
Yeah, now Havos with the full Abyssal Blade snagged, and 2.7k gold in the bank.
Yeah, he's probably going for the MKB just to counter the butter, I would imagine.
And that's where life gets difficult for Shadow Fiend, because he doesn't have he has an Abaddon shield, right? Which at this stage of the game, maybe you remove that initial stun, but he's probably just bashing you again anyway.
Yeah, if you move the Abyssal, it's decent. What's your thought on going Scotty if you're Shadow Fiend? I mean, you're dealing with 2 melee cores. Or is the butterfly just more important?
I feel like your butterfly Satanic is just your go-to build.
Okay. And then your
Scotty's a game-losing item. You remember Fnatic at TI3?
Scotty's been much more popular lately. I'm not sure if you disagree with it all the time.
I think it can work situationally, but Shadow Fiend just farms so I feel like by the time you can get a Scotty on him, you might as well you could get your Butterfly and be on your way to Satanic. And having completed Butterfly Satanic, you're just so much stronger than like Scotty +1.
Sure, and I do agree I do remember the Fnatic Scotty throws.
Oh my. That was actually against Mushi. That was the old RNG Sports.
Was it? Was it the?
He was anti-mage that game.
Was it also?
They got anti-maged. Yeah, they had Hani, Shadow Fiend, and Era Morphling.
Okay.
And they were so far ahead.
Morphling getting Scotty is a different story.
Yeah. It was more the Shadow Fiend Scotty.
All right, here comes a little high ground siege. Inflame is beating on the tower because he can. And Yang's pushing mid as well. I like the pressure coming out from EHOME. They got the.
They might get backstabbed though. ZYF gotta be careful. Hello, the bash. And he hasn't even used the Abyssal Blade yet. He'll use it right as he's about to skate away. And Faust is just chewing through the defense of these heroes. As did BKB just get popped? No. Oh, it's the clinks. Okay. Man,
these are like the most brutal backstabs.
Navi their assassinations take like a half second.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, we keep saying how quickly Navi kills, but it feels like EHOME's more or less controlling the tempo of the game, right? They decide where the fight happens. We're pushing, we're sieging. All right, fight happens here. We're ganking your jungle. This is where the fight happens. I feel like because of that, EHOME is still having more of an edge in the game, even though their heroes are maybe not the stronger heroes.
We haven't seen... It's interesting because I feel like we haven't seen either team fully realize their idea for the game. Like, EHOME's idea for the game seemed to be get the Shadow Fiend BKB, get the Batrider Blake, Necro 3 unlike it, and just start taking pickoffs with the lasso, like now, that they're attempting, and then take Roche and start taking high ground objectives. But they can't even kill Havostov. They finger him. He has an Omni Slash. Is he going to use it in time? No. Ends up going down.
The blink forward from Shadow Fiend finishing things off. Meanwhile, Funnick trying to pick off somebody. He does actually get a double kill. Meanwhile, though, he just runs away. That's going to get popped here. Fissure blocking off the retreat path. And that should be it.
Gem. Let's see. Who's reclaimed it now? I thought I saw a ping coming out. Did a courier grab it?
Yeah. Okay. Also, why is there no Ghost Scepter at all on the EHOME team?
That's true, actually.
Like, if you look over to the line, I think he's trying to get a 4-staff, but...
It could be a Yule's.
Or Yule's, but I think Ghost Scepter is just an absolutely must.
It's just so much cheaper, is the main thing. 1,600 gold.
Well, I mean, there's 1,000 Nest Staff of Wizardry.
Yeah, so exactly. He would basically have it by now.
Yeah.
I do like this pickup by Havos, though. Getting the Blink Dagger, if he ever sees any of these heroes aside from Abaddon on their own, you just blink and that hero's dead.
Yep.
And there's really no way for Navi, for EHOME to disengage from that type of initiation.
Oh, also, what's your thought on Ethereal Blade on Shadow Fiend? Because
I remember a Dendi game where he went for it, and I mean, they wrecked. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, I remember that game as well, but he was already winning so hard when he picked it up, I think. But this game, it could be used as a very defensive way to help your allies as well.
Yeah. It's true. It's at the same time, the Shadow Fiend's probably the most important hero to keep alive, and you can't actually shotgun yourself anymore.
Yes, you can.
No, when you use it on... Oh, yes, if you cast it yourself. Yeah. That's right.
Bad dice.
But I don't know. I just feel like he's going to have to go blow for blow with the Clinks and the Jug at some point.
I don't think you win by defensively shotgun anything. You just have to kill stuff.
They just wait. They just wait until it's over and then kill you.
I'm not sure if this is a game-winning proposition. Oh, Juggernaut's on the hunt. He sees Inflame and...
The blink in. Onto Inflame he goes. The shield now popped. Requiem being channeled from the high ground, though. That's going to reduce a bit of this incoming damage. Inflame will now TP out. Abyssal Blade has been used to cancel that TP. Inflame looks like he'll go down eventually. A heavy commitment just to kill that friggin' Abaddon.
Yeah. I'm not sure if all the split pushing is really going to win EHOME the game, though.
Split pushing does not work against the Clinks and Jug this farmed, I feel.
Yeah.
None of their heroes can deal with them.
Yeah, eventually you're going to make a mistake split pushing, because that's just going to happen, especially against a Blink Juggernaut. And once you do make the mistake, that's where you just lose a ton.
Well,
oh, DDC, where's your ghost?
Two-shotted by Flick.
Like, he couldn't even turn around.
They cannot be off on their own anymore. It's
Yeah.
just not working.
Without ghost, you can't.
Well, if you can't be off on your own, can you 5-man? That's the question for EHOME.
You can't 5-man because Mushi's doing this thing.
What thing? Just
The split pushing thing.
well, just because he's choosing to doesn't mean he can't. Come on, man. You got to believe. I think the issue for them is if they 5-man, they push into Illuminate, they push into Echo Slam, and we have not seen a single good Echo Slam from Dendi. And still Na'Vi are leading now by 8k gold, 14k experience. So if you can't 5-man and you can't really split push, then what do you do? I feel like I think where EHOME can turn this game is when if Na'Vi try to breach the base, and then they get that big Ohio lasso, like we saw in their previous match.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a possibility of like Na'Vi making a mistake. For example, when Funnick goes to go for like a Sono snipe, he gets picked off by a gem or a sentry, and he doesn't have a buyback. That's definitely a window of opening. And I'm not sure how closely he's keeping on buyback. He's got 3k gold right now. I imagine he's going to finish a Daedalus very soon.
This is the item, Lumi.
Yeah.
The Lincolns.
It's great, because the only way you're going to get kill is either through a lasso or a hex.
Yeah, and there's no way you're going to get to use both before Klink's BKBs unless Funnick just falls asleep at the wheel.
Right. Yeah, and when you BKB and you have Lincoln's backup, you are just unkillable.
Oh, Funnick now. Gonna work on the Roshan. It drops very quickly. Havos now up to 4k gold. If he wants the MKB, he's nearing it. Give the Aegis to Vost, although Dendi blinked in to grab the cheese. I thought he was going to steal the Aegis or something.
And to me, it doesn't surprise me how close this game is. I mean, sure, it's Na'Vi that's just took the Roche and the cheese, and they're leading by 8 kills, but you don't think EHOME's out of this completely yet, right? Like, I feel like this game is still winnable on both teams, although Na'Vi is definitely edged.
Yeah, I would agree. I think both teams have really strong late game, good initiation, good team fight. Some heroes who fall off a bit, like a Baden, isn't particularly useful at this point.
Yeah, Baden is just...
Keeper of the Light can be very useful, but also
so.
Can be useless in team fights, potentially. It just depends on how they develop.
I think Keeper of Light is actually one of the most important hero for Na'Vi now, because it allows your 3 cores to go through 6 slots without carrying TP.
That's true.
The fact that you're trying to deal with the split pushing SF, and you don't have to, like, look at Klink. He doesn't have TP. I don't think Juggernaut has a TP. All right, well, now he buys BOT, but
up until then, yeah.
So Keeper is actually really powerful as a late game support.
Yeah, of course, when it comes to the clashes, he's total food if he gets caught out, and potentially dies before he can even recall anyone into the fight.
He's just at blinding light for the fight, and that could be good or bad depending on BKBs and
things like that. Yeah. Well, Mushi going to continue to push out this bottom lane. They are kind of congregating towards his side of the map as Dire Team has good vision here. Ohio going to be forced back. In Flame, he's getting scouted out now, and Funnick's on the move. These aggressive wards may end up netting them another kill. But in the meantime, the siege continues. It's not easy for EHOME to get any kind of split push going, but they are finding ways to do it. Throwing in the Necro Book. It's now rotating back towards mid, and they're even drawing in their own jungle. They definitely know what Na'Vi are up to. And, well, Fanskor hitting a ward was definitely going to be a part of that.
I'm going to just wait till EHOME to pick up a Ghost Scepter and wonder how long that's going to take. Because, for example, Batrider right now, he's trying to go plate mail and armor up. But
oh, Havos, Blake, Hex, they're recalling him, but he's going to get fingered and focused. The Raze is coming out. They get the kill, popping the Aegis, but now they need to run.
Oh,
Fissure. Well, that's an acceptable loss. Yeah. And Dendi even BKBs for this.
Rubik even steals a finger, though. That could be big.
What is it? A level 2 finger.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Aegis had about 2.5 minutes. That's a pretty big kill. But I don't know if Na'Vi would have done anything. I'm not sure they were planning on trying to break the base with that Aegis. No. I feel like they may want to wait one more.
Although, if they do get a pick for free, they can just push with Aegis. But I don't think they're trying to break high ground. Although, I don't think this game is going any better for EHOME the longer and longer it goes. Because like you said, Abaddon just becomes useless. Batrider essentially, like, he's not getting a Hex.
Shadow Fiend just can't go man mode against Abyssal Blade Juggernaut.
No.
He will get focused and die, and they can't really bail him out. But I think where EHOME can win fights is if they just cleanly jump someone with the bat.
All right, here we go. They're going to try. Okay, they're just way too fast backing up. Yeah, I'm also really worried about the Shadow Fiend because once that BKB ends, Heaven's Halberd is available. And when your Shadow Fiend's not dishing out damage, then you really just lose the fight.
He just needs, I don't know. At this point,
he needs like 3 more items.
Yeah, he needs Satanic, I guess upgraded boots. Maybe you have to go bootsless at some point and, I don't know, get a dataless or MKB.
Ditch the blink. It's just taking up a slot, you know?
It helps you a little bit split pushing, then you can blink into the trees and TP out, but in terms of combat, yeah, it doesn't do anything for him.
Tough game. Yeah, like you said, EHOME, even when they win, it's not pretty. So
have they had a clean win? Like the funny thing, Lumi, is in the qualifiers for Asia. Granted, it was not quite a stiff competition as the main group stage, but in the qualifiers, they were just having an easy go. They were rolling people over very early in the laning stage, swagging on people, picking totally off the wall stuff, you know, like Jungle Ursa, Bloodseeker, making it look easy.
Well, it is the Asian qualifier, right? Wait,
but I
feel like the qualifier or the Asian qualifier?
Well, it was combined China, Asia.
I mean,
it was more just the style. Like this style from EHOME has just not been what they were exhibiting up to that point. It's a lot more farm intensive, a lot more passive. They were very aggressive, and I honestly feel like that's where they excel. So it's a little surprising to me to see this type of draft in play.
Yeah, I guess that's why you weren't expecting the abandoned support at all, right? Just in terms of the play style.
Right. Like a hero like ZYF Lycan's another good example. I see him more as like the type of player that excels in like a Juggernaut, a Slark, something that can fight a lot more.
I guess Lycan could fight, it's just he's not really fighting.
It seems like the Lycans that do best play a lot more like Arteezy.
Yeah.
Very farm prioritized, always making sure to take objectives, limiting the deaths, snowballing through objectives rather than hero kills.
Well, now with double MKB, Shadow Fiend's made of paper. He is...
But he can flutter, so it's okay.
Well, okay, you could run away.
He's fast paper. Like a leaf in the wind, Lumi. He's a leaf in the wind.
Alright.
Well, this game has just been very slow from both teams. There's been kills here or there, but I don't... Have we seen... Like you said, have we seen a single team fight in 44 minutes? I don't think so.
I really don't think so. The thing is, the difference between this game and like EHOME versus Hellraiser from earlier is that EHOME was dragging the game out for something, right? Which was a very, very farm Dusa. I don't know what EHOME's dragging out the game for. What is their end game?
It's just the Ohio Lasso. That's it. I mean, I don't know. What else would it be? Lycan can get stronger.
Is this the argument of, hey guys, they're 6-slotted, that means we have more room to grow and they don't?
Yeah, I don't know about that. That argument only holds water if you have like clearly better late game, which
and
it's
now,
not clear at all.
Navi is actually 6-slotted on 2 heroes now. Funnick is just missing the boots upgrade.
Could buy his BOTs, but
yeah, we'll save for buy. You have Kato, you know.
Yeah, or you can go bootsless. But you move a lot faster in Skeleton Walk with just that basic pair of boots.
I'll take that as tribute.
Ohio looking to spring a trap here on Godlike, perhaps. Does he go for even a solo kill? No,
it's not worth the lasso, actually.
He's going to plop a ward.
Maybe they push on lasso's cooldown. This is like classic Jimmy, exhibited by Mushi up top. Just doing the jungle things. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a smile. You gotta turn that upside down. Like, he doesn't want to be doing this. There you go. This is like, why am I still in this game? It's hard to win.
This is the eternal envy rage quit of his pups.
Yeah. Navi is just in full control.
You're not even going to try to defend him. Yeah. Hey, man. The sooner you lose that game, the sooner you can gain the MMR back in the next 2. Or 10, as the case may be. But yeah, EHOME have just lost. They've lost momentum. They still farm a bit in their own woods. They're not... Considering that they're down 9 kills, and it feels like they're the ones who are... When's the last time we've seen an EHOME kill? It's been...
Wow, look at that graph.
It's been 26 minutes. They haven't got a kill in 20 minutes. So yeah, it feels awful, right? But it's 12k gold. It could be worse.
They killed the Aegis once. I guess that's not on the graph. And that Aegis kills was big on Juggernaut.
Yeah, but then they didn't do anything with it.
They couldn't do anything with it. All right, Ohio, it's up to you again.
Well, let's see if he can deliver. He's fire flying around the Roche pit. Now they're going to try and sneak the Roshan. This is dangerous, though.
They're doing it quite quickly, though.
Fan scores nearby. The Roche going to drop. Then the question is, do they get trapped in the pit and screwed after that? Lasso comes out from Ohio. He'll be Omni-slashed and dealt with. He drops the gem as a result. So they've lost their gem off the bat. The rest of the team's going to scatter and run. Well, he died for their sins, Lumi, but he has to pay the price of the gem to secure that Roshan.
So they traded gem essentially for Aegis and cheese.
Is being attacked.
And his life for it, I guess. I mean, as long as they don't lose a Raxton in the next 50 seconds, that's not a bad trade, I say.
I agree. I think it's a great trade. It's just sad to see Ohio always having to take bullets for his team, man.
Well, he's playing the bat.
Yeah.
And I don't expect Na'Vi try to go break high ground without Omni Slash, right? Because that is one of their biggest damage dealing source. So they might get a tier 2 on top of that as well, so.
Now they'll push this tier 2, and it will be secured and without much contest. In fact,
do you push without Omni? If you,
I think Na'Vi just don't want to wait. No Omni Slash. They're just gonna go for it now. The Aegis and Cheese going the other way. They don't really care. Blinding Light comes out. They'll begin to siege from low ground. The tower down to 2 HP. EHOME gonna lose this one now. Well, not denying it just yet, but
gotta keep it just okay. There we go.
He'll lob in the deny.
They held.
They do hold. Now they've got 5 alive. Still, though, I mean, Na'Vi showing that they don't really care. They don't give a hoot.
Yes.
Not even one hoot to give.
Still no Ghost Scepter in sight.
How sad are you right now? He's got a Force Staff, at least.
Yeah, force away from that Omni Slash.
Yeah, the first slice of the blade comes out, and he's pretty much dead. It's still Na'Vi controlling the map, even though the Aegis and Cheese grabbed by EHOME. As they're trying to make the long sojourn here for Mushi. He's going to go Daedalus now. More damage starting to come out for him.
Does that matter?
It does, but he can't win fights just because he has a lot of damage.
Right. Let me ask it in a different way. Can he stay in the fight long enough to right-click?
If his team has the positional advantage.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just the bat, man. It's all about the bat. And for Na'Vi, they don't really care about him. They're just going to push in. Inflame going to show himself. Immediately the Aphotic Shield stolen. Nice little pickup there. And
BKB forced.
All right. Well, it's a 7-second BKB. It keeps Na'Vi back, but again, they got Aegis Cheese and they're just sitting in the base with it.
Yeah.
I feel like EHOME, their gameplay right now is Na'Vi has to make a mistake. We don't really want to try and force a fight. Although now, for some reason, they have decided to leave the base.
Well, BKB is popping if they get a kill here. Here comes the Shiva trying to get the movement speed slow. Flame Break pushing him back, but the lift is finally going to turn around and fight. And here comes ZYF. He's going to chomp down Vanscore very easily. The shield protecting him a little bit. There's a kill.
In the meantime, though, Mushi got assassinated mid. It looks like they recalled the Juggernaut over, and they end up getting the kill. The much bigger takedown, and
he has buyback.
He does have buyback. But forcing it out is still big, and he's going to lose a lot of souls. Well, EHOME getting the clearly unfavorable trade there. It looked like at least we get a Rubik, you know, maybe we can't kill the Clinks, no big deal. Instead, they just get punished.
Yeah, the only silver lining there is A, they have buyback, and B, they still have Flaming Lasso available for the defense. And right now, you know, Mushi is still holding a big angle slam from Dendi, and he's trying to assassinate. He does get the assassination off. A just used buyback immediately, and where is the lasso? Oh no, he gets lifted and a pistol blade. Ohio cannot get things off. Maybe if he had a Ghost Scepter. Hold that thought, because here comes Inflame on the high ground. Blink Hex on the low ground. And everybody's fine.
For now, not so fine any longer though. Havos, the Bachelor has been summoned. He'll get the kill now. Looking at Mushi. Mushi bought back. If he dies again, there's no hope for him. Navi still sticking around. One by one, EHOME just running into the meat grinder. They have started to really chew through their buybacks. Baden's used one, Lycan's used one, Shadow Fiend's used one, and they may lose more heroes. The Lycan dead. That's a dieback for ZYF. Inflame low, and he's finished off by Havos. That's a dieback for the Abaddon, and it looks like that might just be GG. Navi have cracked this EHOME base wide open now, bringing down the bottom lane, clearing out the mid, even pushing through top. EHOME just lost all their steam after that laning stage, and Navi never looked back. They get one kill, Lumi, and it ends up being the worst possible kill in the world. The one kill on the Rubik, the only thing they were able to achieve in about 26, 27 minutes. And it cost them their Shadow Fiend mid and ultimately the game.
I know we haven't seen it very frequently in this tournament, but it just shows you how composed Navi can be when they need to be. Like, giving one kill in 26 minutes, that's impressive against a Batrider.
And Navi now, they continue to bounce back on day 2.
Yeah.
Very few people on the panel gave them any credit. They were getting some flames.
Mostly from me.
Yeah, at the end of yesterday, we did the wrap-up. I'm trying to remember. It was either Gods or Cinder, and it was saying that the only reason they would agree that Navi is going to do better is because they would win at least one game. Well, they've already won 2, so somebody's already got to eat crow, and